The thing that killed me most in those moments to actually face myself was I wasn't living up to what I was destined to be.
When we understand the origin of your own desire for connection, we understand our own opportunity in this new era.
I just thought, man, I can do it all alone. I'm educated, I graduated, I know this, I got that skill, I've been in this industry. And at the end of the day, you can be the smartest person, but if you're the loneliest person without deep connection, everything plummets.
This is your time, Jim Morris. AI is paving a way for people who are actually real connectors and care about real impact. Talk about the opportunity that the times are presenting and what you're doing to meet the demands of the time.
It's funny because when I did my TED Talk,
Hey, yo, welcome to the Seeding Greatness podcast. I'm your host, D Stinson. Some call me Darryll Stinson, but I like D Stinson. If you know me from sports, I've got my friend, my homie, my partner, my client, my mentor, my guy, Jim Morris on the stage, baby. The human connector. Wow. Before it was a fad, before it was a trend, before it was popular to say and to quote, Jim Morris, y'all. Take a look at Jim Morris in the building.
let's go.
Oh, Jim Morris. Man, what I want you guys to know about him is that he is a TEDx speaker. He's a soon-to-be author. He is one of the most energetic podcast hosts, stage speakers that you'll meet. I'm telling you, when he steps on your stage, you can feel it in your bones. Why? Because he's speaking from his lived experience, not just from his lip service. I said it. From his lived experience, not just his lip service. Man, one of the most impactful things that he said, that I heard him say when I watched this TEDx talk in the outskirts of Nashville. And I can't remember the gentleman's name that he was referring to, but he said, who's your go-to person? Who's your friend? Like, who do you have? You remember who the person's name was? Steve. Who's your Steve? You know, you might have to say Sarah if you're a girl. Who's your Sarah? And it was a moment where I was like, and what he was saying is, who's your Steve that's supporting your dream? Who's your Steve that's in your corner that's like, nah, don't shrink, go for it. What do you need? I got you. Stay in the game. Do what you're here on the planet to do. Who's your Steve? Somebody should type that in the chat. It's, who's my Steve? Nobody's typing that in the chat. But what I love is it challenged me in that moment to be like, man, who's my Steve? And why does it feel like I'm being Steve to everyone while not cultivating enough of the Steves in my own life? And it was a gateway to more human connection. Little did I know he would be one of my Steves.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. It's interesting when I think about it because I have a lot of conversations with a lot of people, right? I'm the human connection guy. And I start to get deep and I start to go there and I start to ask questions and I start to extract and I start to have these conversations. And a majority of people don't know who their Steve is. A majority of people don't have someone to lean on. They don't have someone to push them that 1% from 50-50. Do I follow my dream? Do I go back, curl up in a ball? Do I be miserable in a situation that just is something that I'm always going to think about, something that I'm always going to regret, something that's always going to be sitting right here, thumping, pulling at me, reminding me years after years after years after years. And I've had enough people in my life in their older days, in their last days that have told me, I wish I did this. I wish I listened to this. I wish that, you know what? I just went for it. I just did it. I wish that I pulled the trigger on my dreams. And I wish that I had someone to just push me that little bit forward to what I've been getting tugged and tugged and tugged towards, and I didn't do it.
Yeah. Oh man. Man. That's so powerful, bro. Can you tell me, like, you know, I don't want to slow us down too much, bro, because I want executives to get benefit from this, right? You know, not just brothers, you know, although so many people need a Steve. Like, so many people need a Steve, bro. And so, give us a little bit of the story, please, of your backstory, because I think when we understand the origin of your own desire for connection, we understand our own opportunity in this new era. So can you let us know a little bit more about your story?
I grew up, two parents, married, had everything. We had the swimming pool. My house was the spot where we played wiffle ball in the backyard. All the kids I played sports with came over. We had a cul-de-sac around the neighborhood. We did the rollerblading thing, right? The street hockey, like everything was amazing. And one day, that connection, not only with my parents, but that connection with all my friends started to plummet. And it started from one moment where my parents decided to use OxyContin. And in those moments, the connection started to separate, the guidance, the mentorship, the relationship. And when you go from having all those things in your life to moving 18 times before you're 18 to switching middle schools, a lot of things happen. And as I navigated those times, I was extremely disconnected, right? I was doing all the wrong things, running and gunning with the wrong crowds. And it was tough. You know, every single day of senior year of high school, I had a black eye.
Really?
Because I didn't love myself. I was so disconnected from those people that loved me that I would get in fights all the time and I'd lose.
Really, bro?
I'd fight the biggest, baddest, toughest kid because I didn't know how to navigate a world of disconnection.
Yeah.
And I wanted to that pain somehow, some way.
I get that.
And as I continued to move through life, I made poor choices. I pushed away people who loved me, but it all circled back to loving myself, to believing in myself, to navigating this world where I wanted and sought after those connections. And as I got older and I went to college and, you know, that's a different story, but college was interesting because I got a $35,000 scholarship, was $5,000 short. My parents said, "You're not going to college, son." And a relationship allowed me to get into community college 3 weeks after it started, when they were basically like, "No, not going to happen. Semester already started. You're going to have to push to the next semester." And I built a relationship with the enrollment office and the women in the enrollment office. And I said, if I don't get into college, I'm never going to go to college. Like, this is the one shot. This is the one opportunity that I had to educate, to move through into different relationships, different groups. So as I progress through that, I start getting into business. I start working in the corporate world. I start building teams because I start to love myself again. And in that self-love, I can now distribute love. So I start seeing all these guys and gals on my team that didn't love themselves, that struggled with connection. I started to pull them into my little circle, my proximity, my power to help them elevate. And that's when I really learned in the corporate world that it's not so much about me, it's about us. It's about we. It's about, let's do this thing together. And we rose to the highest performing department. I was a director of the entire East Coast. It got so good for me because I had so many people around me and built deep human connection and created an internal culture that people were taking, other executives in other departments were taking team members from me to fulfill their departments because I was so good at building a team, because I was good at loving on others, because at that point I loved myself. And as I moved through different businesses and as I started my own businesses and created new opportunities, it was always the thought of, I can go and do this solo, or I can do it with others. And in turn, I can become the greatest version of myself when I do it with other people, not by myself. And when I learned that lesson, when I started to build bigger teams and when I started to connect deeper and understand what their dream was and how I can help them navigate it in this circle, in this department, in this small piece of a large corporation, well, what happens then? They help me fulfill my dreams. And when those doubts come, when those P&Ls, there's red on them and you're not hitting your numbers, you pull people together, and that allows you, because of the relationship, because of the connection, to enhance the profitability, to enhance the effectiveness, to enhance the efficiency within an organization. And that was like the biggest breakthrough for me, because I just thought, man, I can do it all alone. I'm educated. I graduated. I know this. I got that skill. I've been in this industry. And at the end of the day, you can be the smartest person, but if you're the loneliest person without deep connections, everything plummets.
You can be the smartest person, but if you're the loneliest person, everything plummets. Part of where I want to zero in on what you shared, super powerful, by the way. But there was this part where you said you went into corporate and then you had finally started to love yourself. And then you kind of went on this fast track of building out the team in a, accelerated rate. Can you slow that down a bit and let us know, like, what type of role did you start in? How was some of those earlier? Was it? I mean, because one of the things that's hard is it felt like it was just like, oh, okay, like the scene happened quickly. Like, did you struggle in the beginning to galvanize that team? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Started lowest guy on the totem pole, man. Entry level. My older brother got me the gig. I wasn't even old enough to actually do the gig. He changed 89 the year I was born to 79.
Really?
So
I guess you were tall.
Yeah, I mean, I did use his ID at one point when I was under 21 to drink alcohol, but that's another day, another time.
That's on camera now.
The truth is the truth, brother.
Truth is the truth.
Yeah, it was a very interesting time because, when you go into company, when you go into an opportunity, I always looked at it like this. How can I absorb all the things I align with, all the things I agree with, and then also take the things that I'm not really sure about or I may not be in alignment with and put them in my back pocket, right? Like keep those things in the back because maybe I don't understand it at that time. Maybe I don't have enough information at that time. Maybe I can't see it clearly because it's not ready for me to see it in that way. Different seasons, different information, different understanding. So as I navigated that, I started to realize, okay, I've got all these skill sets and I'm not listening. I'm not hearing the education that's being provided. And I'm just going up against these walls. And yeah, I'm not going to die when I run face first into a wall, but man, does it hurt sometimes. I know. And through those moments, I'm like, well, what's the factor here that's not causing me to break through the wall?
Yeah.
And in better terms, why am I not realizing how to climb up, over, and above the wall to get to the other side? And in those moments, I thought like, well, I think I know everything and I'm educated and I've done this and I've crushed that and I was good at sports and all these other factors. But what I realized was, I didn't love myself. And the reason why I didn't love myself was because I wasn't allowing myself to connect at a level with others that I really needed internally, right? That disconnection from my parents was like, okay, I can just go do it all. I don't need anybody. Fuck y'all. I'm just going to make it happen. I didn't have your support. I don't need your support. No one's coming to save me. And I started to move away from everybody. And then when I realized that that wall does hurt and I'm sick of running into that wall and I'm never going to break through that wall, I realized, okay, I got to do something different. And I started to look inward. I started to realize that there was broken pieces. And not only broken pieces inside me, there was shatter.
When you say I started to look inside, like, did you start journaling? Started looking in the mirror? What'd you do?
Mirror. I looked in the mirror, and on my mirror, I had a little sticky note that said, in order to be successful, you're going to do what 90% of other people don't do. And I always thought like, all right, I'm different. I'm just going to do it different. And I started to ignore some of the best advice of like, what matters is what happens internal, not materialistic things, not those outside pieces of education, not those outside strategies. Like, I'll never be able to enhance at the level that I know I can and elevate if I don't look inward. So when I looked in that mirror that day and I saw it so clearly, green, little, sticky note, right? My scratchy penmanship. And I'm like, and I'm looking at it, and every day I look at it and I look at it and I look at it. But what I wasn't doing was looking at me in the mirror. And when I did this and I didn't like what I saw, everything changed, because I was like, I can't live this life.
That's so good.
And I was bitter. I was bitter about my parents. I thought I got the bad shake. Why me? It was victim, dude. It was like, yo, all my other friends getting college paid for. All my other friends eating in that cafeteria, boy, with that card, and they're good. And I'm going to visit Worcester State, and I'm eating those waffles because I ain't getting waffles at my house. And I was mad and I was upset and I was playing victim. And when I looked and just that little shift to look at myself, I'm like, man, it's me. It's not anybody else. And how do I change me? I don't like what I see. I don't like who I am. And I don't feel like I belong. And I don't feel like I belong in my own skin. And that feeling, dude, when you're at that low and nothing's working, nothing's smooth, you're trying to fit everything in and shrink it down and push it through and trying to get it to the other side and break through that wall, and just nothing's happening. It's like, dude, I got to do something different.
I'm stoked right now because I'm like, I tried to keep it corporate. And you doing a good job, but I can't help it. But this man in the mirror thing is just roaring at me, man. Because I have had similar moments in the mirror, and I would say the mirror was a really big part of my healing process. And it was the same thing. Mine was a bit different because when I looked in the mirror, I saw everything that was wrong with me. So I did look at self, but I was just saw all the things that, I was made fun of about. And then all the areas of my life when I looked a little bit longer where I made some really poor choices and didn't want to deal with the shame I felt when I saw the fact that I did that. And I think most people, Jim, are afraid of the mirror. I think most people are afraid of what they see if they look long enough. So my question to you is like, let's talk about the mirror. Take us to the root, because I know you got to go speak on stage in a second. Let's take us straight to the basement. What was so hard about looking Jim Morris in the mirror?
The thing that killed me most in those moments to actually face myself was I wasn't living up to what I was destined to be. The worst thing that I ever thought possible was wasted talent. God gives you a gift and you're wasting it. You're not living up to that potential. You're not doing the things your heart is pulling you to do that you know you can do. The impact you can make for others, the connection that you can make with someone who needs you most in that moment. And I was afraid of it because I wasn't getting it myself. So that self-worth started to creep in of like, why are you doing this? What is your worth? You're never going to live up to your potential. You're never going to change lives. You're never going to do this. You're never going to do that. You're never going to be an author. You're never going to do a TEDx. You're never going to do any of that stuff. I knew where I wanted to go. I just didn't believe in myself that I could get there.
That one.
It's a terrible feeling, dude.
So
it's absolutely terrible. When you know you're destined for more and you can do more, and you don't even belong, you feel like you belong in your own skin. There's like this, there's no congruence. There's no, it's like I'm going left, but everything's pulling me right. Like it's like I'm being torn into two, and I'm just doing the things I know I don't want to do. I'm acting the way I don't want to be. I'm treating people like I don't want to treat them. I'm treating people like I don't even want to be treated myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's all because this pain that I didn't want to face,
Mm-hmm.
this anger, this victimization, it was so hard to radiate positivity in my world because my world was so negative.
Mm-hmm.
And once I realized that, dude, this whole problem is me. And there is people that want to help. There is people in my life, but I'm pushing everybody away
Mm-hmm.
because I can't face the one thing because I think I got the bad shake and I can do it all alone and I can do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
And because my parents weren't there to help me, I don't need anybody. And it just kept coming back to this circle.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm landing in the same seat time and time again, landing in the same seat, the same seat, the same seat. And I knew I knew I didn't want to sit in that seat. And I knew what seat I did want to sit in. And I didn't want to look at the reasons why I wasn't sitting there.
It's powerful, bro. I have like 7 things I want to ask. I'm actually going to swing us a bit because I'll warm you up for your speech you got here around the conversation with AI. And I'm so tired of the word AI. I'm so tired. I feel like in the age of AI, I feel like every time I write a speech, I gotta like put my intro thesis like AI is destroying jobs and all of this impacts that AI is having. It is doing a lot. And I think the reason why I bring it up is because it is, in my opinion, the reason why human connection is needed more than ever. And I'll share a really short story, and I'll share it this way. I'll really make it brief. I met a girl who I was not supposed to be in an Uber share, but I felt led to grab one. And long story short, she was in town in Nashville, and it was divine appointment. She was looking for a speaking coach. She knew she was wanting to move to the area. And she just got in this ride share that I never get in a ride share. Never get in a ride share. And I was like, I'm the dude. And because she's so used to making decisions online, she couldn't recognize a divine appointment when it was staring her in her face. I think that's what AI is doing to people everywhere. There's people that send me messages that AI wrote on their behalf, and they don't even know that it don't sound like them. So this is your time, Jim Morris. AI is paving a way for people who are actually real connectors and care about real impact. Talk about the opportunity that the times are presenting and what you're doing to meet the demands of the time.
It's funny because when I did my TED talk, I purposely didn't put human connection in the title a couple years ago because I thought that no one actually understood it.
Because they probably did. They probably did, bro. They probably did. I bet you they did.
So I was like, well, that's not a good marketing play. Like people don't even know what that is, right? And now fast forward, 2 years, and it's like, okay, this is like the hot topic. And when I think back of like survival and how I've navigated life and, lived through the situation with my parents, didn't have a place to live junior year of high school, lived with a buddy, almost didn't get into college, right? Like over $5,000 a year. Like when I moved through and why I didn't die when I was selling drugs, because of human connection. Right? Like all those situations were based on relationships and protections that occurred through those processes. And I'm not proud of those things, but I realize how important it is. So it's ingrained in me and it's natural. And when AI first came out, I was like so mad. Right? Because I'm like, you are giving away your genius to a robot that has no soul. Your greatest gift in this world, your mind and your heart, and you're going to outsource that shit? Like, Darryll, if I ripped your heart out and put it on an island in the Philippines, like, you gonna feel good about that? You think people are going to connect with you? Like, We're gonna offshore your soul, bro. Like, what is happening? You know what I mean? And I love my offshore team, and I love my people in the Philippines. And it's funny. I learned I learned there's a holiday called People Are Power in the Philippines, which is one of my taglines. So I love my Filipinos. But when I think about all those things and what really matters to the human, what really matters to the person, what really matters to where you want to go, how you want to impact, what legacy you want to bring, what legacy you want to leave. Because I don't believe that a legacy starts at the end of your time. It starts today when you want it to be born. But when all those things come back to me, I'm like, I'm not gonna forsake my genius to a robot, but I know a lot of people are. So I was really upset.
Yeah.
And I had to reframe. And you said earlier, like, when I hear AI, I'm so sick of AI. I'm so sick of AI. I had to mentally reframe. AI to me means actual intelligence, not artificial intelligence.
Okay.
Because I'm so sick of hearing it. And I'm so sick of getting pissed off and boiled up and frustrated where I'm like, actual intelligence. You keep doing your artificial stuff. Like, think about this. Do you want to eat synthetic food? Do you want to eat artificial food?
No.
Do you think that's healthy for you? No. Okay. So let's eat and absorb and digest a bunch of artificial synthetic information. Do you think that's good for you? So when I hear all this stuff, yes, I was really frustrated in the beginning. That's why I made that my TED Talk. I was going to do a different TED Talk. And I'm like, nope, because I actually think, and this isn't in my talk for TED rules, reasons, whatever. I wanted to start my talk with a bullet, a slug.
Oh my God, Jim, a TED Talk with a bullet? No way.
And I wanted to put a bullet up and I wanted to say, AI is the bullet to your soul. Because I started watching social media. Everybody's copy say the same thing. Everybody's sentence structure say the same thing. And I'm looking at these people who I admire.
I know.
I admire them. And I'm like, don't do it to your boy. Come on, baby.
AI got you. It's like in the movies when the zombie bites them and you're like, please don't turn, please don't turn. And then some of them you can get them before they turn. It's like right now, all we're trying to do is get the human connection in before they turn, and they don't know who they are, and they can't recognize their voice, and they can't find it, and they don't know where to look because they outsourced it for so many years, and AI says it better that they don't even trust their own divine inclinations. Wow.
And what happens is they get left for dead. And I don't want the people I love, nor the people I admire, nor the people that have impacted me at the highest levels to be left for dead. I don't want them to get bit and turn into that zombie. I don't want them to put everything they've built and they've navigated in those shared experiences, those shared heightened emotions, those values, that level of integrity to just be outsourced, man. It kills me to see it. And yeah, let's use it to frame some stuff. Yeah, let's use it to structure. Let's use it to outline. Like, I'm all good with all that. I'm not saying that everything is terrible, but just like anything good, anything with full of light, there's stuff with dark. There's stuff that just is going to come. The opposition's going to target. And anything, anytime, any growth of our country, of our nation, of our culture, of our communities, of our friends, they're coming for us. And I think in a lot of ways, AI is coming for us.
I actually think AI is here to usher us into our greatest era ever. And I believe that people like you and I get to come to the top, get to serve the most amount of humans, because this is what the world is missing. And I don't know why it feels like we've been saying this for years, and now it seems like maybe people are listening. But I had this experience the other day when I was scrolling on social, and I came across my own post. But originally, when you scroll, I was just kind of like, trying to see what's popping. And I stopped, like I just felt the energy as my post. But it wasn't that it was my post. It was that it was the first one that wasn't AI generated that I had scrolled past. So there's this, I don't know who did the study or whatever. There's some graph where it's like humanness is kind of doing this and AI is doing that. I think AI is doing that. And because it's artificial intelligence, I know you got different verbiage, but it can only, mimic human intelligence. So the more effective it gets at cloning, the more valuable what it clones becomes. Oh, yes. So I remember doing an assessment that StrengthsFinder find out I had ideation and harmony as my two strongest strengths. And I was like, in this corporate structure, the people that make the most are the achievers and the people that are A-types and they get it done. And I very much see myself that way, but my strengths, again, was ideation and harmony. And I remember the trainer looking in the eyes saying like, man, well, how am I supposed to be at the top when people just respect the strong achiever types? And I'm at my core an ideator and a harmonious being. He says, just like basketball, if you got a good mid-range jumper and you barely get the ball, when you get in mid-range, shoot the shot. And I did. And that's what I see you doing when you were in corporate, just shooting your shot when you had the opportunity to do in that structure, just shooting your shot. And then now the world is your court to shoot your shot. So man, I know you got to step on stage, but any last thoughts that you want to leave the audience with about what they can do, what they can take away, what they can learn? Go ahead.
Real quick with the strengths finders.
Yeah.
My two top strengths is winning over others.
Okay.
And communication.
Oh, nice.
Kind of aligns.
Duh. Winning over others is a strength?
It's called woo, W-O-O.
That's what woo means.
Yeah. It's not woo-woo. It's
I thought it was woo-woo.
No, it's not.
I feel so dumb.
No,
I never read it.
I thought it was until I did the test.
Okay.
Because I read the book. I was like, oh, which one am I?
Winning over. I feel like I should get that.
Yeah.
So I should take it again. Okay, nice. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Don't outsource your genius, because your genius isn't just related to your logic. It's tied to your heart and soul. And when I think about all the opportunities and the speed that comes with AI and, how you can use it and how you can automate and how you can integrate all these things, I'm like, yes, that's all great stuff. But are you going to automate what's on your heart? Are you going to automate how you can impact someone who's in a dark time that just needs a hand up, not necessarily a hand out? And when I think about those scenarios, like someone just reached out to me, hey, my grandson is having struggles drinking, and I saw a post about how you're 3 years sober and all this stuff. And it's like, what if I took that post and put it into AI? Would it push that person to actually DM me on Facebook, who I don't know, never met, to say, hey, I read your post and I want you to talk to my grandson? So yes, human connection is amazing in corporate. It's amazing in building culture. It's amazing in effectiveness. It allows efficiencies. When people like what they do and do the things they love with the people they love, it aligns and people will run through those walls, not for you, but with you. But all the other things that can happen too, all those situations where you can pull someone out of the darkness in their personal life, that's what human connection's about. And I think we need it more than ever.
Somebody drop some fire emojis in the chat. Come on, drop some fire emojis in the chat. I don't know if I want to title this like what I was going to title, The Man in the Mirror. I don't know if I was going to title this the era of human connection, so we can stop saying it's the era of artificial intelligence. I don't know if I want to title it 30 minutes of straight heat and heart. I like that one the most from Jim Morris. But regardless of what we title it, what matters most is what you do with it. And there's no way you can hear Jim speak with the heart, the passion he does, and not want to go do something, not want to do something with your dreams, not because, I don't know. To me, there's an Eric Thomas, he yells at you type of energy. You've got passion, but it's more of an inviting. It's like an invitation more. It's like, if you want this, come on. It's not like, go get it. Eric Thomas like, go get it. You're like, if you want it, let's go. That, man. So what do you need to go after? Maybe you need to have your own man or woman in the mirror moment. Who's your Steve? And what are your ideas, your original thoughts? Because I'm telling you, that's what matters most. Man, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Seeding Greatness podcast, man. We want to hear your answers to those questions. Let us know. This is a conversation, not just something to listen to, but something to interact with and engage with. And as you're doing that, remember to keep seeding greatness.